Here's your news for July 2nd, 2020. And your headlines for today include WWE's original plan for Otis after Money in the Bank win revealed. WWE locks down another WCW pay-per-view name. The current status of Shayna Baszler in WWE. Released WWE superstars advertised for first indie wrestling event. Sting appears to be teasing a WWE in-ring return for one last dream match. Ex-WWE announcer claims that WWE superstars were kidnapped in Saudi Arabia. Two big announcements on WWE NXT. Jon Moxley vs. Brian Cage AEW title match moved. Shocking details emerge about Hana Kimura's passing, and more. We are starting today with news from SmackDown. As though he may have been a favorite of Vince McMahon, not much is happening right now with Mr. Money in the Bank, Otis. Though the boss was a driving force behind his push, the current situation has caused a lot of plans to change, especially concerning the heavy machinery star. A source for Ringside News described Otis's briefcase win as his big moment, but said that WWE had more plans before they went in another direction. Their exact word on the situation was, "Otis in the briefcase, who knows?" It's also being reported that Otis's Money in the Bank win was supposed to set him up for a feud with The Fiend Bray Wyatt, who is now feuding with Braun Strowman, and that Tucker was supposed to have a big angle also down the line. While Otis is still Mr. Money in the Bank, the company need to do something with him, as right now, nothing seems to be happening. Now, this week saw the first night of NXT's Great American Bash, but that isn't the only WCW name the company now owns. PW Insider is reporting that WWE has locked down a copyright for Wrestle War, an event that WCW ran from 1989 to 1992 that also featured War Games matches. It's unclear what WWE wants to do with the Wrestle War name, but given that they've used the Great American Bash and recently trademarked the WCW term for merchandising rights, it looks like the company is cashing in on nostalgia in a big way. Over to Raw now, and though Shayna Baszler debuted on the main roster with a whirlwind of momentum, things didn't exactly pan out. After a combined 549 days as NXT Women's Champion, the former Cage fighter was supposed to win the 2020 Royal Rumble before she was replaced with Charlotte Flair, and also was the original plan for Miss Money in the Bank before the company switched to Asuka. Becky Lynch has also said recently that she wanted to lose the Raw Women's title to Baszler at WrestleMania, which didn't transpire either. Even more recently, Baszler hasn't been seen in weeks, and according to a source, she's on the sidelines, though no mention of an injury was made. It's being reported that there are ideas for her in WWE, but McMahon doesn't like any of them, and hasn't signed off on anything for Baszler, who was also a Paul Heyman project. It'll be interesting to see where Baszler goes from here, as after having the Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, and the Raw Women's Championship taken from her, hopefully things will improve for the Queen of Spades. We're stepping outside WWE now, as several recent releases have been advertised for an independent wrestling event. Luke Gallows and Eric Young have been confirmed for July 25th's Lariato Pro Show in Dublin, Georgia, as well as Impact Wrestling's Crazy Steve and Johnny Swinger. It's interesting that these stars are appearing, as reports have stated that Gallows and Carl Anderson are on their way to Impact, who also aired a video hyping Eric Young's return. It's also worth noting that Gallows, Anderson, and Young's non-compete clause with WWE will end on July 18th, the same day as Slammiversary, so we'll have to see who, if any of them, make the jump to Impact. Back to WWE now, and the company had to cancel their Hall of Fame ceremony earlier this year, and though there's rumors of WWE considering a new date, it may still be quite some time. Ringside News is reporting that though SummerSlam has been discussed, nothing is confirmed for the 2020 Hall of Fame, as there's plenty of factors the company have to consider. The pregnancy of Nikki and Brie Bella forced the duo to pull out of access prior to the Hall of Fame's cancellation, and traveling in the current situation in their condition would be an issue. Jushin Thunder Liger is also an inductee, but given that the ongoing situation hasn't exactly diminished as of late, he may be unable to travel to the US from Japan if the ceremony took place around SummerSlam. Of course, a lot can change between now and the biggest party of the summer, and hopefully it won't be too long before the stellar class of 2020 receive their Hall of Fame rings. From future Hall of Famers to a current one, as Sting recently left the WWE, but according to a tweet from the icon, it may not be too long until he's back. On Twitter, the Stinger replied to a photo of himself on a motorcycle asking who wants to take a last ride with him, referencing the recent documentary series All About The Undertaker. Over the years, Sting has made it clear he hopes to wrestle the dead man someday, and despite being in his 60s and his neck getting injured in his last match in 2015, Sting has said that he feels fine to wrestle. If this match was to happen, it'd mean the Phenom would have to come out of his current retirement that he revealed during the Last Ride series finale, and given that the dead man recently said he feels a Sting match wouldn't live up to expectations, and the fact that there's been no rumors of Sting's WWE return, it doesn't look like this match is happening anytime soon. We're going back to Crown Jewel last year, as this was the event that saw Superstars be held a day extra, allegedly due to a conflict between Vince McMahon and the Saudi royal family. One person who has claimed this is former commentator Hugo Savinovich, which didn't sit well with WWE's attorney Jerry McDevitt, who specifically called out Savinovich when refuting these claims. Now Savinovich has responded saying, "I stick with what I said. WWE wrestlers were kidnapped in Arabia Saudi. That's what my sources told me. I don't need money, I don't need fan attention. It's a very sad thing that WWE and his lawyer try to humiliate me." Savinovich added that it was wrong for WWE to go to Saudi Arabia at all, citing the 2018 murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, as it looks like Savinovich and WWE won't be doing any business together at any point in the near future. We're focusing on NXT's Great American Bash next, as during this week's show, two huge announcements were made for next week's Night 2. Mercedes Martinez announced that she will be back in the black and gold brand very soon after being absent from the show for quite some time. Meanwhile, next week's show will also see Mia Yim and Candice LeRae compete in a street fight, as the company hopes to keep their momentum going from this week's show. Whilst NXT was hosting their bash, AEW was hosting their first night of Fyter Fest, which included a major announcement regarding the AEW World title. During the show, it was revealed that the Jon Moxley vs. Brian Cage World title match has been postponed and will instead take place in 2 weeks on July 15th at their Fight for the Fallen event. Immediately after, Taz and Cage cut a semi-shoot promo about the situation, taking a shot at WWE's tests, saying, "Unlike others, we don't run a sloppy shop here at AEW." This wasn't the only big announcement, as a special Puppy Battle Royal has been announced for next week's Dynamite, whilst an AEW tag title match between Kenny Omega and Adam Page taking on Private Party has also been confirmed. It'll be interesting to see if WWE NXT has a reaction to this, as this game of one-up by the two companies has led to a lot of huge matches. Speaking of NXT, now last night's show may have been a celebration of the Stars and Stripes, but it was Wales' Tegan Knox who won big. After a grueling Fatal 4-Way, Knox became the #1 contender for Io Shirai's NXT Women's Championship, defeating Candice LeRae, Mia Yim, and finally eliminating Dakota Kai following a Molly go-round and the Shiniest Wizard. It's not clear when Knox will get her title opportunity at Io Shirai, but the champ was also in action as she defeated Sasha Banks in non-title action. With this match over, Banks will have to bounce back as she'll face Raw Women's Champion Asuka at Extreme Rules, while Shirai will soon have her hands full with Tegan Knox. We've got an update from the tragic death of Hana Kimura, as more details have emerged on the former Stardom star. Earlier this year, Kimura took her own life after appearing on the show Terrace House, where she got into a confrontation with a fellow contestant who destroyed her ring gear, culminating in her slapping him in the face. Now, Kyoto Kimura, Hana's mother, has said that the entire incident was staged by Terrace House producers, and whilst speaking to Bunshin.jp, spoke about her daughter's trauma on the show. According to Kyoto, Hana was in tears after her grandmother's birthday, saying that whilst she wanted to come across as professional, the producers were forcing her to be aggressive instead. Specifically addressing the incident where Hana slapped Kai Kobayashi, the producers reportedly told Hana, "Nice, now slap his face," and after Hana refused, she compromised and slapped the hat off his head. This claim was later backed up by Kobayashi herself, as Kyoto said that her daughter didn't want to hurt anyone, saying it was wrong and as a wrestler would seem unprofessional. When asked for a comment on Hana's death and the claim of Terrace House staging the incident, the show's producer company Fuji TV said they couldn't speak on the matter, saying it's under investigation. Sadly, nothing will be able to bring Hana back, but hopefully her mother's words will be able to do some good, as the country continues to look at bringing in laws so that those who harass others online can face the consequences. Over to WWE now, and this week's Raw not only saw the company continue on the road to Extreme Rules the horror show, but an impressive streak also got broken. On this week's edition of the Red Brand, WWE Champion Drew McIntyre and Raw Women's Champion Asuka lost to Dolph Ziggler and Sasha Banks, which is the first televised loss for the Scottish superstar in over half a year. The last time McIntyre lost on TV before then was the November 25th edition of Raw, which saw him, Randy Orton, and Ricochet lose to Rey Mysterio in fatal four-way action. It's worth noting that in both this week's match and the November 2019 match, McIntyre wasn't pinned on either occasion, and fans will have to go back to August of last year to see the WWE Champion get pinned. Time will tell when exactly McIntyre himself will be pinned next, but we're sure that Dolph Ziggler hopes to be the one to do it, as he's already part of one of the Scotsman's impressive streaks coming to an end. One person fans haven't seen as part of Monday Night Raw in quite some time is Kairi Sane, and now details have explained why this is the case. Recently, the Kabuki Warrior was busted open badly after being launched into the steel steps, but before that even took place, there were other plans for her, according to a report by Fightful. The report stated that while her current contract status is unclear, there were plans for her to go back to Japan this past May, though given the ongoing global situation, that clearly didn't happen. It's also been noted that Sane would serve as an ambassador for WWE in Japan, though no details were given as to how this role would change her in-ring status. Though there was a time where WWE were looking at an NXT Japan brand, these plans have been put on hold due to the current situation, and the report added that Sane's situation has developed over the past month. Whilst Kairi may be AWOL, her tag partner Asuka is doing just fine without her as the Raw Women's Champion, and we'll have to see if Sane eventually rejoins the Empress of Tomorrow on the Red Brand. And finally, we're ending with some news from Renee Young, as after teasing a big announcement, the Canadian broadcaster has announced her brand new cookbook. On Instagram, Young revealed that she's been working on the book for 3 months and handed over the manuscript today, with the book featuring over 70 recipes as well as a music playlist to cook the food too. Whilst some fans were expecting a different announcement, with some speculating she was going to join her husband in AEW, fans should have seen this coming, as Jon Moxley said in an interview in April how Renee has been cooking their meals every day. Though there's currently no name or release date for the book, Young has promised to reveal details in the coming weeks and months, as fans can prepare the cooked dishes fit for a WWE broadcaster or an AEW World Champion.